to the 393 Master Your Finances system. This is an online coaching program to help you get ahead with your money. I'm your coach, Caroline Marwisa Ndongdu, and I'll be taking you through this program. In this segment, I'll be giving you an overview of the journey you're about to embark on. But before we proceed, allow me to introduce myself, please. I'm the founder and CEO of Master Your Finances, a global financial consultancy aimed at developing personal finance skills for African professionals wherever they may be in the world. And we do this through books, courses, presentations, and coaching programs like the one that you're undertaking now. I'm also the author of 2 personal finance books, Master Your Finances, The Art of Building Wealth, which was published in 2015, as well as my recent book, The Oil, the Gift, and the Talent, Mastering Wealth and Happiness. As a qualified chartered accountant, some 5 years into my career, which has only been in financial services organizations, I realized that while I was winning in my career, I didn't feel like I was winning with my money. At the same time, I had a number of individuals approach me asking some really basic personal finance questions. And over time, I realized that I needed to find answers for myself, and I also needed to find answers for the people that were coming to ask me questions. And so I began a journey of research to understand if there is a way that one can really get a handle over their money. And that has culminated to what I now call the 393 Master Your Finances system. So before we proceed with this segment, I want to introduce a concept or a technique that I learned during a leadership development program that I went through over a period of about 2 years. And it's called the checking in process. And essentially what it is you stop and pause and think about your topmost thoughts and feelings. And because this program is about money, I'm just going to ask you to think about what are your topmost thoughts and feelings regarding your money. If you need to pause this program, this video right now, you're welcome to do so. But very, very important to get in touch with how we're currently thinking and feeling about our money. So there are essentially 2 outcomes to the 393 system of mastering your finances, which are actually quite aligned to what Master Your Finances as an organization stands for. So the first set of outcomes, we call them money outcomes. And we're taking a long-term view. So we're taking a 10-year view over a 10-year period. And we're saying in that 10-year period, we want to see individuals 10xing their current income. We want individuals to eradicate their consumer and lifestyle debt. We want to see individuals building enough wealth to meet their current lifestyle at 15 times to about 25 times their annual expenses. And the reason behind these outcomes is really because the research tells us that in South Africa, and the statistics are not that different all over the world, in South Africa, less than 8% of individuals can afford to retire comfortably. So I'm talking about middle class to upper middle class individuals going into retirement, and they become poor the day they go into retirement. And so we want to make our contribution to change that. The second piece of data is that if you look at how individuals in South Africa are indebted, the statistics tell us that at least 72%, so about 71.9% of the take-home pay goes towards servicing debt. So that means for every 10,000 rands people are taking home, 7,200 of that is going to servicing debt. And that also is something we would like to change. And then come to the idea of people not being able to retire. We really want to change mindsets of individuals to realize that retirement is not retirement is not really the age that you stop working. Retirement is not about stopping working. Retirement is really about accumulating sufficient savings or sufficient wealth to enable you to meet your current lifestyle without actually running out. Then we go to the meaning outcomes. We've got 4 meaning outcomes, and these meaning outcomes are really rooted in happiness research. When I wrote my recent book, I did a lot of research around what makes people happy. And I found that there are 4 levels of happiness. The first level of happiness talks about happiness in a thing. And most of those are things that money can buy. So our money outcomes will be able to handle level 1 happiness. Then level 2 happiness has got to do with people achieving their goals, and that feeling of achievement and achieving things that they set themselves to do. And you will notice that in the way that this program is set up, we really help you set challenging goals, and we then break them down into milestones. And so as you achieve those milestones, that also contributes to your level of happiness. That's level 2 happiness. Level 3 happiness has got to do with how we interact with others. So it's about the good we see in others, the good we want to do for others. And essentially, that links to the top 3 meaning outcomes. So if you look at your relationships, your close relationships, if you look at servant leadership, that's really the work that you do and how you serve others with your gifts and your talents and, your unique strengths. Then there's also the plight of the vulnerable. That also helps us to attain level 3 happiness. Level 4 happiness is really happiness that only comes from your faith. It comes from, the ultimate truth, the ultimate good, transcendence, something much, much bigger than ourselves. So those 4 are our meaning outcomes that we've embedded as part of the 393 system to master your finances. Now, I want us to go through the design of the program. The approach that we follow in this system focuses on a concept that is called cause and effect. So we know that in problem solving, they say that if there's a problem, you want to try and get to the root cause of the problem. Similarly, in our approach in designing this system, we said, let's analyze people that are winning with their money, and then let's also go to the root cause of some of the attributes that have been proven to demonstrate that there was a direct correlation with those attributes and the fact that these individuals are winning with money. So the first finding was that financial results and outcomes are directly linked to the choices individuals make, decisions they make, habits when it comes to their finances. Particularly choices and decisions that are repeated, those that they have to undertake on an ongoing basis, the habits, right? Those are the number 1 drivers of the results and outcomes that individuals are sitting with when it comes to their finances. So a good starting point in your finances is really to accept the fact that largely the results and the outcomes you're sitting with when it comes to your money are driven by the things that you yourself have been doing, the choices, your decisions, your habits. I'm not excusing the fact that there could be other matters beyond our control, but essentially this program is about what we can do. So that's what we are talking about here. Over and above the habits, you realize that the level of knowledge that people have, so financial literacy, the knowledge they have about money, how it works, how to generate money, how to grow their wealth, how to protect it, how to manage it, that also has a direct impact on the results that individuals get with their money. Then it's about what they can do or cannot do. Although for me, that attribute is not that important as long as you know what needs to be done. There are people And then you all you need to then do is identify people that can do what needs to be done in that instance. Then there's an element of mindset. A lot of the money mistakes people make have got to do with the mindset. So you'll notice that as part of the program, we do a lot of reflection. We look at some of the mindsets that we hold and how those are helping us or hindering us in terms of building our wealth. Then, of course, lastly but not least, it's the motivation, right? So how you feel about your money is what will either propel you, give you energy to go and do the right things, or paralyze you from doing the right things. So, and we'll go deeper into some of these aspects. So essentially, this is the approach that we take, and this program touches on all 5 elements. Now let's come to the actual 393 Master Your Finances system. As you can see, there are 5 areas we focus on. And this framework is built like a house to demonstrate the various roles that the different components here make or play. So if we look in the foundation, that's really about mastering your money habits. Again, as we spoke about it in the approach, we realize that the outcomes and the financial results that individuals sit with are largely driven by what they do. It's about what they do. So it's very important for us to help people to understand their behavior so that they can predict how they are likely to behave in certain circumstances, and also to empower them to start a journey of transformation to take on what I call profitable money habits, and fire the ones that are not taking them forward. So that is in the foundation. Then as we start building this house, it's got 3 pillars. There's a manage pillar, there's a pillar to grow, there's a pillar to protect, and these 3 pillars work together. You have to be managing, you have to be growing, you also have to be protecting your wealth. And then come to the roof section. You can see it's shaped like a triangle pointing north. And if you are familiar with any of the work that Steve Covey put out, he spoke about, how the compass points north always. So your true north is the direction that you want to go. So that is why at the top there in our roof, pointing to the true north, is what we call the financial vision. And obviously we'll be going through what these different elements mean. And this whole house taken together should then give us the results that we seek, both when it comes to money as well as when it comes to meaning. And then lastly, about our design, something we're so excited about is our credo. So our credo talks to 3 principles, really. And those principles are that we learn, we apply, and then we teach others. It's very, very simple. So I also want to invite you, once you've learned and you've started applying these principles, that you can go out there and teach. Go out there and teach people closer to you. Go out there and teach other people, so that we really start creating a movement of people that are financially literate, and we can start seeing people changing, because these principles that we teach in this system, they've been tried, they've been tested, and we've seen the results. I mean, just recently, I had spoken to one of my ex-classmates, or ex-schoolmates rather, just before the COVID-19 lockdown. And it was just a 15-minute conversation we had. And I can't even remember the detail of the conversation or the details of the conversation we had. But some 2 or 3 weeks into the lockdown, she sent me a message saying, "Thank you very much. I'm so glad that, this lockdown happened. after I had had an opportunity to talk to you and you shared with me the importance of saving, and so I'd actually started saving, and I realized that I was wasting a lot of money, on unnecessary things. And she was so thankful that, now that everyone, no one could really work, she couldn't do the work that she normally does, but she was grateful that that 15-minute conversation had yielded some results for her. So now imagine you going through the whole system. What sort of results would we get? And now imagine if you're now empowered and you can go and empower other people. That is the goal of this 393 Master Your Finances system. I'll see you in the next section.